we said, who gave you that? And he said, oh, when I was very little, my English teacher gave me that name. And we were like, we think your English teacher was weird.
Real.
Like, very weird to give you that name.
It's a female's name or
Female's name. Yeah,
female's name and fall in love with a little girl.
Mm.
So it's homosexual.
No.
But you said little girl.
Yes, but the teacher was a man.
Okay. So
So it is
that
a
is
story
the little
about,
girl's name.
yeah, and
That's
so
the
it's a
teacher.
story. It's not a real story, but someone wrote this story, so it's like a really gross story.
Okay.
And so like,
So it's not.
so
Let's
it's not
think
a,
about
yeah,
that one.
people avoid giving their child that
I know.
name because of the story. And so then the fact that the English teacher gave her that name, everyone was kind of like, maybe you should change your name, like to Lola or something like that, like something different. And she's like, doesn't bother me. I was like, okay. So,
So, do you have Chinese name in Taiwan?
hmm?
Do you have Chinese name in Taiwan?
Ma Xiu.
Ma Xiu.
Wang Ma Xiu.
Matthews.
Matthew?
Wang Ma Xiu. Matthew.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, it makes
Mama.
sense. It makes sense.
Yeah. And everyone was like, oh, you should do Jing.
King.
Yeah.
Mr. King.
Like Ma Xiu Jing.
Yeah.
Right? But my friend's wife, so when I first moved here, he was my professor my first year in college. So his wife, the last name is Wang.
Wang.
And so she goes, we have the same last name. I was like, what? She's like, my last name's Wang. I was like, mine's King.
King.
How is that the same? And she goes, well, Guo Wang is king
Guo Wang.
in Chinese. So, you know, we have the same last name. I was like, oh, so my Chinese name would be like Wang something, right? She goes, well, usually English speakers just make something that sounds similar to their name. So it would be like, and my other professor said, yours would maybe be like Ma Xiaojing. And like, so I was like, yeah, but I don't know. And so when I made this, some of my friends were like, when I read it, it sounds like not a foreigner's name, but with a foreigner's like
Ma Xiu.
right? But you imagine that they're maybe Taiwanese, but they have like a foreign name, you know? So they were like, oh, that's kind of weird. Your Chinese name's kind of weird.
I feel this is a good name for you.
Yeah,
Very good.
Wang Ma Xiu.
Wang Ma Xiu. Is right.
But you know, Chinese Bible, they make the Matthew to Ma Tai.
Ma Tai.
Yeah, because it's gospel Matthew, right?
Mm.
So we call Ma Tai Fu Yin. I don't know the.
What is the
they
Tai?
translate that. Tai, like wife, like Tai.
Oh, Tai Tai.
Yeah, Ma Tai.
Mm.
I don't know. It doesn't sound like Ma Xiu is. More,
Yeah, it sounds more
makes
like it,
sense.
yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah, and then in Japanese, mine was Ma Shu Kingu.
Ma Xiu.
Ma Shu Kingu. So it's Ma. What's it? Shu. Is it? Oh, is it that way?
Just,
No, the other way, right?
just say
No, I was right.
Just say the Mato Sensei. Mato
Yeah,
Sensei.
so they would say Mato Sensei.
Mato
but,
Sensei.
Kingu. I think Ma Shu, and then a line. Ma Shu Kingu. But it's been a long time since I wrote my name in Japanese.
素晴らしい. You can roll the
And it's katakana. Just my name. Other than that, no, I forget.
But I know yogurt.
Huh?
I eat the yogurt.
Yogurt?
Yeah, with the man.
Oh, Mashu. The Matthew's Choice.
Oh.
Right? Yeah, near Jason's Market, and they have it in the store. Yeah.
Matthew's choice.
Yeah. I told my swimming students, I told them, because I take the 6th grade to Inca, to the Taozi Boguan.
英歌陶瓷博物馆。
So I take them there and I help translate for the teacher that's there. Because in the summertime I teach there and the teacher translates for me. So we know what each other is saying. So I was translating and all of my students in my swim team said, Mr. King, your Chinese is really good. You were translating everything the teacher was saying. And they said, do you really know, or were you just guessing what she was saying? I was just like, no, I kind of know what they were saying. And then they were like, so you can speak Chinese? And they were like, say something. I was like, 为什么你想要我跟你告诉我跟你讲中文？
讲中文。
And they were just like, and they were like, do you have a Chinese name? And I was like, oh, Wang Ma Xiu. And they're like, Ma Xiu, where have I heard Ma Xiu? Oh, yogurt. And they were like, this yogurt place, that's where I've heard Ma Xiu. And I was like, yep. And I say that I'm King Horse Fix.
Horse fix, 马修。
You know?
马修
Do you understand?
Horse fix.
Ma
Horse means 马。
Xiu. King Horse Fix. So, I am the king of fixing horses.
Fixing.
So, let's see. Alright. So, do you have any words or anything that you've heard or questions about English over the last week? No?
Actually, I got a lot. I found an APP that is, you can practice English. Yeah, and that is for a lot of vocabulary.
Mm.
Yeah. So I just look as a cat, and then you can, test yourself.
Mm.
It's fun.
English Planet.
Yes.
So, yeah, maybe that's something you can share. That APP where other people can study.
A lot of parts are free.
So-
You can practice your English, but just for the vocabulary.
Yeah, so good for learning words,
Yeah,
to learn new words.
yeah. And then you can have scores.
What's the name of the app?
It's Chinese.
什么什么网?
Hold on. That is 超级单字网。
哦，超级单词。
超级单词。There's a cat
嗯
inside.
，OK
超级单词
寻找一个
啊？可以玩
那个
游戏
APP 里面的，
APP，不用钱。对，它要钱的就不要用，很大的部分都不用钱。然后呢？
So, what difference between the respect and the admire?
Respect and admire. Okay. That's a good question. So with respect, respect is talking about more or less that you are not going to be rude, you are not going to be, how do you say? You know the concept of respect, right? Like treating other people kindly and
Thoughtful.
yeah, being thoughtful with your actions towards someone, right? So that would be
True. With kindness.
So being thoughtful of your actions. So thinking, am I being rude? Am I being mean? Am I saying this in a right way? So being respectful is kind of following. It's when you're using respect, you're using the rules of society of how to get along with someone, right? Respect. Okay, I respect that person, right? It doesn't mean that you necessarily admire them. Admire is different. So like respect would be like you can respect and you can admire together. Okay, but when you only respect someone, maybe you don't like the person, but you respect maybe something about them. So you say like, oh, like I think they're a hard worker, but they're just not very good person for my personality or something like that, right? So you're following rules.
Culture. B.
So it's kind of following the rules of your culture to be kind to somebody, right? So, 3 different things there, okay? So if you respect someone, you don't necessarily yell at them, you don't really argue with them, so that's respect. Admire is similar, but it's a little bit different. So to admire someone means that
Really respect and look up.
so look up to. Do you know look up to? It's not you look up, right? Okay, it's not that you're short and you're looking up at someone, right? Okay, so when you look up to someone, it's like if you imagine they are such a good person that people put them up on what we call a pedestal, right? So like someone famous, you put them up on this pedestal and oh, such a good person, right? Because they live virtuously or there's something about them that they do really well. Maybe they're a really good baseball player and you wish you could be a really good baseball player. You're like, oh, I really like that person. I admire them, okay?
Look up.
So admire has respect in it, but it's a little bit more. Because respect, you don't have to look up to someone, right? Maybe you have a boss in an old job, right? That was really mean and really strict, but they ran the company very well. So you respected them. You said, look, he can yell at me, whatever, I don't like it when I'm yelled at, but he does a good job at running the company. The company is successful, so I respect him. Maybe he's not nice to you, maybe, he treats other not so nicely, and so you look at that and you're like, his personality, but I respect how he makes the company successful, right? But admire, maybe that your boss, you've had a boss who does all the same things, runs the company very well, makes the company successful, but he talks to everyone very nicely, and he's a good person, so you say, oh, I admire him. So do you understand the difference?
Yeah, Mr. King is our English teacher, so we have to respect to you.
Yes, I get that, yeah.
And you are talented people. You can do many things. So I admire you.
Okay. Yes, that's the difference. Mhm. So
it's that actually we need to respect everyone, but
well, I mean, ideally, yes. there's no law that says you have to respect everyone. But yes, I get what you're saying. We should, if we want to be
Yeah,
good people, we should respect everyone. You don't have to admire everyone,
Yeah, but we need.
but you should give respect. Treat people with kindness. Be thoughtful of your actions, right? If you didn't sleep very well the night before and you come into work and you're grumpy, and then someone says something, hey, leave me alone. That's not being respectful, right? Okay? So, like, yes, we should be respectful, but sometimes, we can't help it. But yes, admire is a little bit different. It's respect, but more,
More.
right?
More.
So you have respect, but you also have, oh, I want to be that person. I want to be like that person, right? That's admiration. That's admiring, okay? So that's the difference. And Derek. Alright, gotcha. Alright, good. So do you get that difference?
Do we say that you don't have to admire me, but you need to show some respect?
Sure.
Like
Sure.
that.
And there's actually a phrase. So there's an expression that says,
To like me. But why you
or show me some respect. You don't need to like me, but you better show me some respect. Right? So what that is talking about is basically, sometimes managers, people say, oh, my boss is so mean. Well, sometimes bosses need to be mean. They're not in that position to be your friend. They're there to run whatever business they're doing, right? And sometimes running a business, you have to make difficult decisions that some people won't like. So that's a phrase that can be said. You don't need to like me, but you better show me some respect, right? But that's if someone's not showing you respect, right? You wouldn't just say something like that, right? So does that make sense, the difference between respect and admire? So you can use respect in a way that means admire a little bit, but the difference would be admire has respect in it, but it's a little bit more. It's that you want to be like that person, or you want to be that person, sort of, in a way. So we call that kind of putting someone on a pedestal. Do you know pedestal?
no.
Statue?
No. So a pedestal would be, have you ever gone to an art gallery and there's a sculpture and it's sitting on a white box? Did you see down by the theater, there's all the pottery and it's displayed and it's on like, you go into a museum and you see something that looks like this, and on top of it, there's maybe a sculpture, right? This is a pedestal. Because if you just had this sculpture sitting on the floor, maybe it's all the way down here, and it's like, you have to do that. So it raises it up so you can see it. So it raises it up to a level, right? So putting someone on a pedestal, this is a pedestal. It's something that raises something higher, right? So when you say you put someone on a pedestal, you hold them, you look at them, and that's why we say look up to,
Look up to.
because you're putting them above who you are, right? Does that make sense? Okay.
Look up to.
Okay. Have a good one, Dee. All right. Any other words? Any other expressions? What do you got? Italian sausage delight, my favorite thing to eat in the morning. I love that. I liked when it was on the bread. The bread was really good. Now it's on the biscuit, right? It's It's like a biscuit, right?
biscuit.
Not bingan, but it's like it's you know biscuit, right?
Yeah,
And then the bread, when it was on the bread, that was really good too. Because one day it was on the cut bread. It was like maybe you didn't have the biscuit, so you put it on the bread, and that was great. But Italian sausage delight. Okay. Now, this is just a name they made up for that. Okay. Doesn't mean anything necessarily. You know Italian. Isu, right?
Italy.
Okay. So from Italy. Okay. Sausage. Lasagna.
Yeah.
Right.
Meatball like
Like meatball, but not really. The reason why they call it sausage is because it's, you know, yeah,
So,
Shanghai, but they cut it up, and that's why it looks like meatball, right? Because they put it on pizza as well, right? Okay, so sausage, and then delight. Do you know delight? So delight is like you enjoy something, or it's enjoyable. Okay, so it's saying like Italian sausage. That's enjoyable. Like it's an enjoyable Italian sausage treat. Okay. So delight, I think, is the only word that you need to know. So it's happiness or enjoyable. So it's saying like Italian sausage happiness. But it's weird to call something Italian sausage happiness. So by using a fancy word, it makes it sound fancy. Even though it's just biscuit with sausage, cheese, and a little bit of paprika. Maybe like lajao, like the red sprinkling, right? We call it paprika. Okay? So, other questions?
Teacher,
Yes.
it's just that APP, a lot of words,
Mm.
and I'm wondering if they are all important. How could I know?
How do you know if they're important?
Yeah.
That's difficult. That's difficult to tell you because for every person, words are going to be of more importance to you than others. So, like, depending on what type of food you like, maybe you'll learn a certain type of names for food because that's important to you, and then the other type of food you don't care, so you're not gonna learn. So it depends person to person, especially with your job, right? So words about food, words about service, words about being able to be helpful, words about telling kids to calm down and get in line, right? That's important for them. But then for IT, they don't necessarily need to know about food. Well, of course they do because maybe they want to eat, but
So that's up to you.
yeah, so it's up to you to decide if something's important or not.
Okay.
Now, sometimes I don't think you should ever get a dictionary and read it and study the dictionary. That's not a way, because the thing is that you will learn words. So I've been teaching English for 9 years, okay? And in those 9 years, there's been many times where an English class that like a Bushiban has a list of vocabulary words for 3rd graders, for 5th graders. And some of the words I've never heard. And I'm 38 years old this year. So if in my 35 years, say a few years back, I was teaching it, and in 35 years, I had never heard that word, and then I'm teaching it to 3rd graders, they don't need to know that word, right? But it doesn't mean that they can't know. It's okay to know weird, strange words, right? And not ever use them. To just be like, if you do hear them one day, you're like, oh, I do know that word, right? But don't take a dictionary out and study a dictionary, because you'll do what happens several times when I speak to non-native speakers. So when in art school, they would talk about my work, my artwork with me. And they would use words that they had learned in the dictionary, because they were from Korea, right, originally. So they went to school for university in America, and then they just wanted to study. And so they studied out of a dictionary. But the problem was they would use words that even native speakers don't know.
Yes.
And so that's when native speakers go, what? And they're like, taciturn. That's the one word. Now I know it and now I see it other places. But she used it and I said, I don't know the meaning of taciturn. And she couldn't explain it to me very well because she didn't fully understand it. So that's the trouble with learning out of a dictionary or just like overloading your vocabulary. I say find what you need in your daily life, and then you can do a little bit of study here and there, and that's fine, right? But don't try and go out of your way to learn these really complicated words, because sometimes maybe you won't need them. Okay? So study for what you know first, or what you need first. Okay? Other phrases, words?
May I ask, the seat for the audience in the fair, Catholic fair.
The
do we
benches?
do we have a special word
Yeah.
for it?
Bleachers.
Bleachers.
So in a sporting event, so like the baseball field over there, you see the lights for the baseball field? Is it the Tianmu
天母棒球场，
Bancho?
棒球场。
Yeah. So over there, right? They have the seats in it. Those are also bleachers. In a basketball stadium, the ones that come out, in the gym, they slide out. Those are also bleachers. For any sporting event, okay, for any sports, the seats you sit in are the bleachers.
Bleachers.
So you can call any seat like that the bleachers. But in reality, the real thing of the bleachers is the ones that's out there, the metal ones. So it's the ones that are
Sports.
trying to draw here in a way that you can see it. Like those seats? Those are real bleachers, right? Where it's, right? The bleachers that step down and it's a big bench. So if it's just one, right, that's a bench. Okay? But if it's the step one, right, then it's called bleachers. So that's what those metal ones outside, the silver ones, just outside by the field, those are called bleachers. But anyone's, even if it's the seat, you can still call bleachers. Okay?
Bench.
Mhm.
Bleach. Bleachers. Bench. Bleachers. Bench.
Any others? Any others?
Bench. Bleachers.
No other words? Derek, you see any others on packages that you want to know the names of? No? Sophia? Any questions?
Drill down.
Huh?
Drill down.
Drill down? R-I-L-L.
Yes.
Drill down? How was it used? Give me context. Probably saw it in an email.
Yes. Contact. Drill down.
What were you talking about?
It's username for a username.
Okay. Drill down. Maybe they meant to write drop down. contain the drop down, like a drop down?
Yes.
So maybe drill down, maybe it's a typo, maybe autocorrect changed it to drill instead of drop. I don't know. Because drill down to me, I would need to see the email and know in full context. Because to drill down, for me, you know drill. You know drill? Yeah, it's like right? It's got the spin and you drill into the wall. So a drill is simply doing some drawings for you today. Right?
Drill.
The drill you. Right? And you drill into the wall. Right? It spins and drill into the wall. Right? So to drill something down, it can also, on the front, you could also have like the screwdriver, right? To turn a screw. I don't know, not exit is nail. That's a screw. Yeah. So like you can and put it in, right? So maybe they're talking about drilling something down, like fixing into it. Because if I put this up on the wall and I just like put a nail and I hang it, I can still take it off. But if right through here and drill it down, I can't take it off as easy. So maybe to make it more permanent, I don't know. That's my guess, but I would need to see the full email to know, right? Don't worry about this one. Don't worry about this one.
I have once heard the sentence drill.
Sentence drill? Okay, so drill in that sense is an exercise, okay? Like the So, we hear the alarm.
Yeah.
Attention, all students and faculty, there is an earthquake that is happening. Please get under your desks, right? And there's no earthquake, and everyone, right? Okay, or the fire drill, we all go out onto the field, right? Okay, so a drill is an exercise or practice.
Practice. Air defense drill.
Yeah, the air defense drill. No one can go outside, the police drive through the city, right? Okay, so that's a drill, it's a practice exercise. Okay, so sentence drills, grammar drills, okay?
And it can be used in military exercise.
Military exercise? Yes. A drill is not a real thing. And so you will hear in English, this is not a drill, this is not a drill. So it means this is not practice, this is real.
Real.
Okay, so if you hear, this is not a drill, it means 这个是真的. Right? Okay? So, and the reason why it's a drill, we have a phrase. Drill it into your head. Right? Drill it into your head, make it stay there. Okay? So you can drill it into your head. Okay, makes it stay. Because you practice, you have the and then it stays, it doesn't come out easy, right? So you drill it into your head. Okay?
Into your head. That means you have a chip in your mind.
Well, you just have to practice until it sticks in your head.
Oh.
Okay? So, any others? Any others? Drill it in your head. So, to practice and remember. Okay. All right. No others? Last day. Last day. Any others? No? Anyone? more? Okay. Alright. So,
How is the formal not for real? For example, if you say when it is happening, it is for real.
yeah,
And how can I say, if I am the person for, I need to warn the people.
yeah, typically they would
In a
say,
formal way. And
so like,
how can I say-
on your phones now and on the TV before, it would be like, and it would say like, attention please, this is what is it? Practice of the emergency broadcasting system, right? So in the US, we would show it on TV, and then they would say, if this was a real event, you would be told directions to blah, 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 blah. So if it was real, they would say, this is not a drill.
So it is formal,
Yeah, you could just say, this is not a drill.
okay.
So you say, the fire alarm is going off, this is not a drill, okay? So, if there are no more questions, it's a little warm, huh? So, if there are no more, I want to finish up with just some more questions and conversation that you need to remember the verb tenses. Don't look so scared, Billy. You're looking at me like, I knew I should have called in. I should have said I was sick. So, alright, I just want to end this class with some conversation and just kind of talk and just some fun little things to talk about. So you can try and remember the verb tenses, okay? So if you're looking at these questions, try and think of what the verb tense you should be using. Is it asking something about now? Is it asking something about the future? Is it asking something about the past? And that will tell you what verb tense that you need to use, okay? Got that? So, the first one, because the last one we did was what was your favorite time of day, favorite time of week, month of the year, and why for each, right? So, this one will be, what is something exciting or challenging you would like to do in your lifetime? Exciting, you know the word exciting, right? Challenging, what's challenging? Challenging is like difficult to do, hard to do, okay? So if there is something exciting or challenging you want to do in your life, what do you want to do? So for me, let's see. Something exciting, you can choose one or the other, or you can choose both. For me, I'm gonna do both. So something exciting I would like to do in my lifetime would be doing the diving with great white sharks. You know, where you're in the cage and then the sharks are swimming around, like the big great white sharks. So I think that would be exciting. That would be very exciting. No.
Diving in the shark.
So like you dive in a cage, right? It's a metal cage, and then the sharks are swimming around.
You see that?
No, I have not done. So this is something I want to do.
No, I mean, see that?
I've seen it on TV, yeah.
Oh,
So my friend has done it in South Africa. He said it was very exciting. So I want to do that in my lifetime. And that's exciting. So something exciting. Now something challenging. I want to do. So I've ran a half Ironman triathlon. So and that was difficult. But I would love. So a half Ironman, it is 1.9 kilometer swim. Then it was a 90 kilometer bike ride, and then a 21 kilometer run. So I did it 7 hours, 53 minutes. That was like 8 years ago. So, and so I want to do that again, but I want to do a full Ironman. So a full Ironman is double that. So it's 1.9, so that's 3.8 kilometer swim, then a 180 kilometer bike, and then a full marathon run. I want to try and do that before I'm done. Right? It's challenging, right? It was very challenging for me to do the half, but I did it. Yeah, I did it in Kending.
Oh,
So now it's in Taidong or
yeah, I
Dalian.
know.
Yeah, Taidong. I think they moved it to Taidong, but the first year was in Kending. So that's something exciting and something challenging I would like to do. Okay, so I would like to do. So I'm using the future tense, right? You could say I would like to do, or you could say I will like to do. Both are okay. Future tense. Okay. So you can choose one, or you can choose both. All right. So we'll start on this side. Kurt,
Exciting.
which one? Exciting or challenging?
In my lifetime, exciting.
I would like.
I
Right. So
would
you
like.
would like to do. I would like to do.
I would like to do.
So you can say something exciting I would like to do, something challenging I would like to do.
Give me a few minutes.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Anyone want to volunteer to go first? Tracy.
Change.
No, don't want to volunteer to go first. Okay.
Change.
So let me show you an example. Okay, give me 1 second, Bridget. Let me write something down here. I'll give you an example of how to word it, right? Because it says something exciting or challenging you would like to do. So you could just take something exciting. I would like to do is blank. Okay? So, this is something exciting, something challenging, I would like to do is blah 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 blah. Okay? So, Bridget,
Something
something what? Exciting or challenging?
challenging. Something challenging. I would like to climb the Yisan.
I would like to do.
I would like to do climb the Yisan in my life.
Is climb.
Is climb.
And you don't need the, because there's only one user, right?
Oh.
So you can say climb user, right?
Climb Yisan.
Or in English, you is what? Jade.
J
Jade Mountain.
J
Jade, Jade Mountain.
Jade.
Okay, so climb Jade Mountain. That's a good one. I want to do that too. But I hear you have to wait 6 months for a permit. So you have to plan 6 months in advance to get the permit to go and climb it. And you have to get exercise because it goes
Yeah.
very high. Right? Okay. So, who would like to go next? Lily. Lily, awesome. Thank you. All right, Lily. Something what? Exciting or challenging?
Challenging.
Okay, so something
Something
challenging
I would like to do that
is
to do is 还有戏，
还有
高雄
in Kaohsiung going 还有
哈游戏，
哈游
戏吗？
哈游西
yeah, that doesn't help me.
宣布的来英国吗？
Ah, there's another mountain. There's another mountain to climb.
来的英国，你在大武山。
So climb Daosan. Okay, so you say climb Daosan. Yeah. Okay. All right. In Kaohsiung.
高雄县
Okay.
屏东
Kingdom. Okay. Okay. All right. Very cool. Is it beautiful?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to Dao
like the
Dao
大武
Dao.
大武，
Okay. Dao. Big five. Da.
对，
不是 fighting 武功
Oh. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Very cool. I'll have to look that up. All right. Let's see. Who's next?
Can I say?
Sure, Jane.
I want to do both, exciting and challenging, but I never did that. I never did that.
Done what?
But I don't know how to say that in English. In Chinese, I don't know how. That's behind a boat, and then you on the water.
Ski or board?
You know, ski on the water.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
there is a boat. In
Two
front of you,
skis
and-
or one board?
yeah.
Okay, so that's called water skiing.
Oh, water ski.
Water skiing. Yeah.
I never did that before.
Okay, I've done it. I've done it. Yeah. Minnesota, there's many lakes and we
But I
have.
don't know. Is that in Taiwan?
Yes.
Do we have that?
Yes.
too?
In Shilin. Yes.
Where?
Shilin.
Huh?
Here in Shilin, they have down by is it
That's
Suzu?
what it's.
设置
You know the little part of
社知道 Really?
yeah.
They have that?
Yes.
Yes.
Really.
We should have that.
Really, they do.
Is that expensive?
But they do wakeboarding where it's a board, right? And they go, but they also have water skis there as well.
Water
And then they also have a wake surfing. So there's two places: Flying Fish Wakeboarding Club, and then Super High Wakeboard Club. There's two schools that are down there.
So, how much does?
I don't know. I want to go down there because I wakeboard. So that's the board behind the boat. But yeah. So. Okay. Yeah, it is challenging, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Water skiing.
Water ski.
So
Waters.
Water ski.
water skiing. Okay. Other people. Gina.
And something challenging.
Challenging.
Challenging. I would like to do is in the bridge. You stand and then jump.
Bungee jumping. Bungee is like, you know, on the back of scooters, they like to hook it on and it stretches, right? That's a bungee, right? So the cord, because you jump and it stretches
Yeah.
and then you come back up, right? Bungee jumping. Okay. So bungee is like on the back of, you know, the little hook stuff that you, if you have on the back of a scooter, you have a box and you hook, stretch, hook, that's a bungee. So that's a bungee, okay? It's stretchy, okay? So that's a bungee cord, okay? All right, who's next? Tracy, Derek, Anita, Sophia, Danny, Kurt, Danny.
Something challenging I would like to do is full marathon.
Full marathon, Olympic? No, marathon, excuse me, I'm thinking triathlon. Marathon, okay.
Marathon.
42 kilometers. I haven't done it, it's tough.
42?
Yeah, 42.
Right now I only have.
Only half.
That is long too.
You know why? Do you know why a marathon is 42 kilometers? So in Greece, the city of Marathon was 42 kilometers from the sea. And there was someone who was standing at the sea looking for the enemy to come in their ships. When they saw the enemy, they turned and they ran 42 kilometers to the city, said the enemy's coming, and then died. I'm serious. That's the true story. So that's where the first marathon was. Ran to the city, the enemy's coming, and died because of the run. So that's why a marathon run is 42 kilometers.
But marathon, you didn't run very fast. But
No.
that time, emergency, you need to
Sure.
run as fast
Sure.
as you can.
Sure.
I don't think they are the same. Sorry.
Okay, next. Who would like to? Sophia.
Something challenging I would like to do is giving a presentation
Tomorrow morning. Ah, okay. How many people?
5.
Do you want to practice right now? 5 people. Shh. I'm giving speeches to over 500 people. Not hard. 5 people. If you're nervous, picture them in underwear, right? You know that's the trick. And then you just think it's silly. So you just imagine, right? So it's embarrassing for them, not for you, right? Okay, who else? Anita? Derek? Derek?
Something challenging I would like to do is take airplane myself to the America.
Fly a plane?
No, airplane.
Yeah. So to fly in an airplane?
Yeah.
By yourself?
Yeah.
So you fly it?
No.
Okay. Take an airplane by yourself. Okay. Well, you could fly, it might take longer, but okay. All right. Kurt?
Something challenging I would like to do is go to Thailand to be a monk.
Okay. My friend did that for 1 year.
Oh,
Shaved his head,
yeah.
lived in a monastery.
I hope I have opportunity to finish this will.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Final one. Anita?
Something challenging I would like to do is learn how to swim.
Learn how to swim? It is challenging, especially if you don't learn when you're a kid.
In
Well-
my lifetime.
And when you don't learn when you're a kid, it's much more difficult because it's easier for you to sink. You know that? Because when you're a kid, you float in water more easy because there's less, right? Less weight. So now as an adult, right, more easy to sink. So yes, that is challenging. So you should ask about swimming lessons. Maybe you can join the young kindergartners. I used to teach them. So, all right. Huh? Another one? Okay. Is what? Having a child? That's more than challenging. Right? That's more than, but I would know. I just teach other people's children and then give them back. So, okay. Are you hinting at something? Is your wife pregnant? Not yet? Okay.
But you can,
All right. Next question. Which friend have you known the longest in your life, and when did you meet them? Okay. So my friend that I've known the longest in my life is my best friend Eric. And I met him. Where did I meet him? I met him on the school bus in 5th grade because he was my neighbor, and my parents had just moved to Minnesota. So I met him then, and we became best friends. And he still, he comes to Taiwan, and then we go to Bali, and then come back, and then he stays in Bali for 2 months because he can work on his computer, so he just travels and does that. But I've known him since I was 10.
yeah.
So I've known him for 27 years. It's a long time. So, who is the longest that you've known them? When did you meet them, or how did you meet them? Okay? So, would anyone want to go? You just need to give name, and then when you met them, how old were you? Okay? So, my friend that I've had the longest is their name, and then I met them when I was Is it hard for you to think of who? I don't think it should be. It's pretty easy to think of that.
But that would be your name. Siblings?
No, not siblings. Because I've known my siblings for 37 years. Okay? Okay?
Cousin?
No, no family. Friend. Okay? Friend. I knew that that was going to happen, so I said friend. Okay? Friend you've known the longest. What do I know? If it's not the friend you've known the longest, will I know? No. Just make something up. Okay? Danny.
The friend I have known the longest is M.S. Chen. I met him when we were elementary
Students?
at elementary school.
No, you didn't say elementary students or in elementary school.
In elementary.
Because you weren't in elementary school. You yourself, you were never in elementary school. You were an elementary student, right? Just not school. Okay? Alright? So, next. Harmless. Very easy. Name and the age. Derek?
The friend I have known the longest is John.
Okay.
I met him when I was
Yeah, high school student.
High school student.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay. Let's see, who's next? Who's next? Who's next? Who's next? Tracy.加油. Wait, 等一下. Tracy. Try. The friend?
The friend I have known the longer is when I was,
Chinese name is okay.
what's the name?
你们朋友的名字啊？
When I was young girl,
Young girl.
yeah,
How old?
10 years.
10 years old, okay. Alright. Lily, you want to try?
The friend I have known the longest is pretty young.
Okay.
I mean when I was high school.
High school. Okay. Alright. Bridget.
And my friend I have known the longest is the Jennifer.
Okay.
I met her when I was in junior high school.
Junior high. Okay. Alright. Kurt.
That is very difficult question.
Because you have many friends?
Everybody I met just like
Same time?
passer by.
Hmm? Pass away?
So I will cherish the time we were together.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So you don't have friends that are long term? Not from
No,
childhood?
no.
Okay. That's fine. That's a good
Just
answer.
like pass
That's
by.
a good answer.
Pass
They come into your life and go out,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. Alright. So. Tina?
Okay. The friend I have known the longest is Vivian Lee.
Okay.
Yeah, when I met her when
Met.
I met her when I was elementary school.
Okay. In elementary school? 5th grade? Okay. Alright. Alright, so Jane?
The longest, a friend I have, actually they are family. Not my family, but when I was very little, my mom let their mother to take care of me,
Okay.
pay the money, like that way.
Not family, it's just like
But
Baby
we
sitting
can't
kind of.
do like friends.
Sure, sure, sure.
Family very close.
Sure.
Yeah.
But that's just like, you could say close family
And-
friend.
Because we moved to Kaohsiung. First we live in Taipei, and we moved to Kaohsiung, and we call them like mother Taipei, mother, and their children. We are friends.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So you met when you were
A lot
very,
of brothers and sisters, but we call them brothers and sisters.
Sure,
but
sure.
They are not our real.
yeah, so you could just say close family friends.
Yeah.
They are close family friends.
Yeah. So almost
Closer family.
after I was born, they knew
Okay.
me.
So like my father has a friend like that from college. So we call him Uncle Sandy, but he's not.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
we are
different.
like that.
You know, so it's just close family friend.
Yeah.
Anita?
The friend I've known the longest is Rosita Lee. We met when we are in elementary school.
Okay. Alright. Sophia?
The friend I have the longest is Vicky. I met her when I was
12? Okay. Alright. So let's see. If you could meet one famous person, who would it be? Just say their name. Only their name. For me, Adam Sandler. Do you know Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
He's a funny actor, Adam Sandler.
And it's
So-
Sender.
I would meet Adam Sandler. Comedy movie. Silly movies. He's done like the Grown Ups movies and I don't know, many movies. Adam Sandler. Okay, so just the name is okay. Because we don't have much time and I want to get through it. Any famous person you want to meet?
Now I know a famous person is Mr. King. You are a talented
I'm not
people.
famous. I'm not famous.
You are swimming coach, you know,
No,
golf
no,
coach,
that's not famous.
and artist.
That's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
famous.
yeah, yeah.
That's not famous.
Famous
okay?
man. Yeah.
Okay. Just name is okay. Chinese name doesn't matter.
Audrey Hepburn.
Hmm?
Audrey.
Audrey Hepburn? Oh, okay. Breakfast at Tiffany's? Yeah? Okay. Who? No one? Oh. Simple life. Right?
Just like me, Mr. King. Yeah.
Do you know? Oprah? Okay. Oprah Winfrey? Okay. Derek?
Andre Bocelli.
Ah, Andrea Bocelli. You like opera singing? Okay.
Interesting.
Alright. Jane?
Give me some time.
Okay. Sophia?
the mayor of Taipei.
The mayor of Taipei? Okay. Okay. You want to be in his next rap video? Okay.
Mayor Casino.
Who?
Mayor Casino.
Pacino. Who's that? Actor?
Mayor Casino. Italian.
I don't know.
He acted the Godfather. Mayor Casino.
Oh, Al Pacino.
Al Pacino.
Yeah, Pacino.
Pacino.
Okay, Al Pacino. Yeah. Okay. You know.
Mr. B.
Mr. Bean? Okay, that's a good one. I can't remember his name. Rowan Atkinson, I think is his name. So,
If I can meet one famous person, Lai Qingde.
who's that?
No, that was a government, very famous guy.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, alright. Jane? Name of someone?
Okay, I want to meet, I forgot his name, but he is, 市长, how to say that?
Mayor.
Mayor of Hainan now.
Okay.
Hainan, because I met him before in the, Gaotie, how to say Gaotie?
On the high-speed rail?
Yeah, and
HSR.
I shared the gospel to him.
Okay.
And he's very nice. And I want to know how's going now. For if he believe in Jesus now, or I want to follow him.
Okay. Alright.
I met him before.
台南吗？台南市长。
Yeah, Huang.
Alright.
黄伟仁。
out and I want you to email me. All right? Don't worry, very easy. Okay? I want you to think about some things that you liked about the class, and then what would you like to see done differently in the future? Okay? So just one or two things you liked, one or two things you want to see different. Okay? And just think about it. Don't worry about grammar, don't worry about anything. Just write it to me and that's okay. Alright? Very easy.
You like
This is not a test. I just want to hear how you thought about the class. Okay? Now,
you like
there is something I would like to talk about for next year for the class. It will be maybe someone different. So, Mr. Gully is who I'm going to recommend, and he's a very good English teacher, and he works here right now as a substitute. So maybe next year he will be doing this class, unless things change and he moves. Mr. Gully. Jeremy Gully. You've talked to him before. He looks almost like me. Okay? So yeah, his wife works in lower school as an elementary school teacher.
Miss Fernandez.
Yes. And then Mr. Gully. So he might be doing this class. I'm going to recommend him for it.
So what's the reason you're gonna leave?
I'm still here. I'm just going to be doing
Different.
stuff. Yeah. So, plus the reason why also is I think it's beneficial for you to hear from another teacher as well, because you get more. Every teacher is different, and if you just keep taking me the same year, the same year, the same year, the same year, you can only maybe go so far, right? So it's good to have different exposure to different teachers, okay? Because imagine if you started in kindergarten and went to 12th grade and had the same teacher, by the 12th grade you'd be like, right? Okay? So, but yeah, so please email me something you liked and things that maybe you would like to see done differently, okay? And I will share that with whoever is going to be doing this class next, okay? But I've had fun. I hope you have had fun. But also remember in the future, 1 hour a week, is that enough to improve your language? No, okay? You need to be doing it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 or 366 days a year, okay? But that doesn't mean you're doing it all the time. 1 minute here, 5 minutes there, 20 minutes here, an hour there, right? Find time wherever you can to study and practice. Practice, okay? I know as you get older, I'm getting older too, okay? And I know it gets more and more difficult the older you get to learn a new language. But you can do it. It just, that first bit is very difficult. But once you get past that first little bit, it gets easier, okay? So. Okay, so any last questions? Danny?
Why the Evan Sandler is the famous
Person that I want to meet?
Yeah.
Because I really like his, so ever since I was growing up, I really like his movies. And also, he's a stand-up comedian. You know, stand-up comedian? Where someone stands up and tells jokes. So I liked his stand-up as well. And a lot of my humor, my silliness, my humor, comes from him, watching him. So he's kind of someone that I admire. Hey, look at that. Using a word, hey?
Admire.
I admire him.
I admire.
Okay? So,
But as I know, every movie just adjusts himself.
doesn't matter. I still like him as himself. And I like his group of friends. Because he has many of the actors that are the same in the same movies. So his group of friends as well. So it's just, I don't know. It's just, I just like his style of movie and I like him as an actor. So he's someone that I just, it's because from an early age, I I looked up to him. That's why.
You know, like kind of like Jim Carrey.
I do. I like Jim Carrey as well. But right now, Jim Carrey is very strange. Like in person, he's gone a little crazy. So, and a lot of that has to do with, they say, like his wife, his ex-wife. So they got divorced, and then she killed herself. And so he's gone a little bit crazy because of that. So yeah. I like his movies, but just as a person, I don't know if I want to meet someone that's that crazy. Because you know they say genius and insanity, you know, to be a genius, like really, really smart, or to be insane, to be crazy, there's a very thin line between the two. So if you're a genius, you're close to being insane. And sometimes you cross into that. And I think Jim Carrey has crossed into that.
Cross.
You know? So, yeah. So, but that's normal for people like that. They work so hard and then, right? So, okay. Any other questions? Okay, please, sometime in the next week or so, send me an email, okay? Don't worry about grammar. Don't worry about spelling. I don't care about that. I just want to hear, okay? Even if you have a friend or something, you tell them and then they write it, it's okay. All right? I won't know. I won't know. Oh, and something that can help you, I told the writing class, something that can help you with writing. Grammarly. It's an app that you can get, and it checks your spelling, checks your grammar, checks everything. Grammarly. And it's a really, really good one. Okay? So when you're writing an email, you can use Grammarly, and it will help. Okay? All right. You're good to go. So have a good summer, have a good rest of the school year. If you see me around, say hello.
Come to eat, come to cafeteria.
You can say, yeah, passerby. Yes. See you, Bridget. Yeah. Yeah, or remove is better. Removed is better.
Remove. Took off. Remove.
You. No problem. Thank you for enjoying the class.
Thank you, sir.
Good. Thank you, sir.
My son got injured in the construction site, so,
really?
so I have to go back.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, you're
Thank
welcome. You're welcome. I'll see you around.
you. Yeah, see you around.对，以前是在那个4B39吧，然后今年换到这边来。但是老师说明年就是下一次就不是他教了，就换成那个 Mr. Golly， 对。
之前也是这样想，请问你们参加？
因为我来参加了已经3次了嘛，就是连3年都是 Mr. King， 他先前是代班老师，后来变成正职老师，然后他跟我们说以后就不是他教了，对，我觉得蛮可惜，他口条很清楚，真的，对，好，拜拜。
小的人家